Hola, bienvenidos a la sesión informativa con Colorado State University, con quienes tenemos un convenio que otorga a 2 beneficiarios de Colfuturo un 50% de descuento en el valor de su matrícula y para quienes no reciban este beneficio tendrán un descuento del 33%, tanto en programas de maestría como de doctorado. Este convenio y este descuento aplica sobre el valor de la matrícula como si ustedes fueran y como lo son outstate residentes de este estado de Colorado. Entonces, bienvenida Bianca, bienvenido Steen, adelante con su presentación.
Buenas noches. I'm Steen Verholst. I'm the director of the International Enrollment Center here at Colorado State University. I'm an hour in front of you. So upstairs, my kids and my wife are preparing for dinner, but very delighted to be here and talk a little bit about Colorado State University specifically. We're of course very excited to have Bianca there as a local resource in the same time zone, much better Spanish than myself. But we're here in Colorado and able to kind of support and navigate you through the admissions process. So I'll share a few slides. I'll introduce you to our team that's located here in Fort Collins, Colorado, and then highlight some of our colleges and programs that we have at the graduate level. So let me share the screen. All right, wonderful. So again, we'll just take a look at the admissions, academics, campus life, and outcomes of an international student experience here at Colorado State University. As promised, here's the team that will be helping you in Fort Collins. And so Bianca travels throughout Latin America, engaging with students. She's great and will be able to help you. And then at some point, you'll hand off your materials to us on this side. And so we have lots of different folks that will help you with the admissions, recruitment, and marketing pieces of all of this. And we also are delighted to say that at Colorado State University, you're going to be able to contact any of us throughout this whole journey. So as an international enrollment center, we're very centralized, which isn't true of many universities in the USA, where maybe they have a graduate school, maybe international team. We're going to be able to do it all centrally for you. So it'll be quite easy to be able to triangulate your admission with Colfuturo, as well as your immigration with these people on the screen, as well as Bianca. So what's life like in Fort Collins, Colorado? So we're a suburb to Denver, Colorado. So Denver is a major metropolitan area, and we're 1 hour north from Denver International Airport, as well as downtown. And so quite easy to get into the big city. If you're craving a concert with thousands and thousands of people, that is definitely something that you can do. We're also very close to the Rocky Mountains. So Fort Collins is at the base of the Rocky Mountains. And within an hour, you can also be hiking, biking, rafting, lots of different activities as well. So lots going on, very committed to the environment, very committed to sustainability. And so you'll see lots of mentions of biking, as well as different kind of entrepreneurial spirits that happen here. Support, we want to make sure that you are supported here. And so thinking about all the resources we have a career center that you can use not only while you're a student, but for the rest of your life. And so you can always get that feedback, come back, say, hey, I'm applying for a job. Even if you graduated 10 years ago, our career center is going to support you for the rest of your life. Lots of opportunities for tutoring, certainly writing center as you're beginning to think about academic journals and getting published. That is a great resource for international students. We have specific international sections to help you out with kind of the style of writing that we would expect to see in American research settings. We have a great team here that's going to help you with your orientation and transition to the university. So that starts after you've kind of confirmed your plans. Say, I'm coming to Colorado State University. We'll get you introduced to the orientation team. They'll tell you when to arrive, when to move in, what recommendations they would have for campus housing or off-campus housing, and kind of help you wayfind. We have a student disability center. So if you have any disabilities that you would want to report to us, we will make sure that you have the accommodations on campus to be successful. And then key to this, of course, you'll have your faculty advisor, as well as kind of this long list of additional academic advising. And so every college and every department has graduate coordinators, and we work very closely with them to make them aware of your scholarship package, of your academic background, kind of priority admissions as part of this, so that you can get your answer at Colorado State University sooner rather than later. What can you do when you're here? We know that academics is the major part of why you're here, but we also have a lot of exciting traditions. And so that includes a lot of clubs and student organizations. And so during that first week, kind of with orientation and transition, you're going to get a chance to learn about a lot of different clubs and opportunities to be involved outside of the classroom. You'll get a chance to connect with maybe prospective again, sports clubs. Maybe if you're looking for a roommate during that first week, it might be a chance to make a lot of new friends, both inside and outside of your college. And then, as you can see in the bottom left, an area that should certainly pique your interest as graduate students is research and development. So we're in the top 10% in terms of the work we do with the National Science Foundation in particular. In a given year, we're generating $500 million in research opportunities through our faculty grants and projects. And that's great news for you, because that means they're looking for students to be able to help with these projects in their labs and in field experience. And then, like I said, living on campus for you is not compulsory, but we do have different options, including apartment style living, or kind of a simple residential space as well. If some of you are bringing your families, we also have international family housing on the west part of our campus as well. And that's a great environment for, spouses, dependents, to be able to feel connected to the campus community as well. All right, so our colleges. So we have 8 different colleges at Colorado State University. Again, large comprehensive research institution. 35,000 students, 5,000 to 6,000 of those students are studying at the graduate level. Most of our programs are comprehensive in scope, meaning we go from undergraduate to PhD. And within these 8 colleges, you'll find 65 different graduate programs with a number of different specializations. And so, we can be talking about, what it'll say on your actual diploma or degree, and then these specializations and concentrations too, as well as kind of the subdisciplines. And so we don't have time to cover all 65 departments comprehensively, but to give you a sense, certainly every graduate program in our College of Engineering is top 75 in the United States. Our veterinary medicine and biomedical sciences program is ranked number 2 in the United States. It's a very, very competitive program, as you can imagine. In agricultural sciences, this is how we started. And so we have a legacy over 150 years of doing leading research in our College of Agriculture, including for those interested in certainly like seeds and germination. We have one of the largest depositories of seeds to be able to kind of like, if you're a doomsdayer, right? Colorado State University would play a very important role in being able to kind of like be able to get us back on the map in terms of agriculture. Health and human sciences, many opportunities there. In the liberal arts, that's our biggest college. Those are typically non-STEM majors, but we do have some programs there. And then in the natural sciences, let's see here, jump the slide on me. There we go. And then in terms of natural sciences, we have some really exciting opportunities there, including Masters of Applied Statistics, which has a STEM designation, and an emergent opportunity in data science, as well as computer science through the doctoral level. So, and then engineering, I guess, just to recap, that would be comprehensive in scope in terms of civil, mechanical, electrical, biomedical, so many opportunities. Our College of Business is the only college that does not offer a doctoral degree in this list. So the College of Business, the most advanced degree they offer is the MBA, or Master's of Computer Information Systems, Masters of Accounting, Masters of Finance. So again, happy to take questions about specific programs after this, as I kind of like give you a little bit of a scatter shot there. What do you need? Oh boy. Playing audio on here. Okay, there was some audio dubbed into that slide. Let me kick that off. Sorry about that. Give me 2 seconds.
It's okay, Steve. I don't think we could hear it though.
Oh, okay. I could hear
Yeah.
it.
Oh, okay.
So okay, I got it out of there. All right, my fault. So let me get you back on that screen in terms of the application processes. Share and go. Okay, awesome. Okay, the graduate school, that's where you can find more information. And so our job, from Bianca, meeting with you, working with you in country, to the team here in Fort Collins, is to really be an advocate to help you get to a point where the department's ready to make a decision. And that's true at most universities in the USA. Most universities in the USA, it's not the Office of Admissions or an international enrollment center that's admitting you, it's the departments. The departments are going to be the ones reviewing your application, making the recommendation for admission to the graduate school. So our role in this is to help you get to a point where the department is ready to make a decision. So you want to tell us as much information as possible. And you heard Bianca talking about letters of recommendation, how important those are. Those are compulsory for us to be able to review you. So we'll work with you to help kind of guide you through these steps in terms of applications, the application fee, getting your transcripts here, establishing English proficiency. Perhaps there's programmatic requirements with GREs or GMATs. Luckily, most of those are going away, but some programs still do want to see those scores. 3 recommendations. I believe there's good news coming at Colorado State University. I think we're going to drop that to 2 for this upcoming year, which will help you. And then a personal statement. So your opportunity to be able to write, talk about your fit, hopefully weave in some of those pieces around your research interest and how they apply to the specific program at Colorado State University. This gives you an idea of some of our deadlines. And so it varies by programs, but the key one you want to be thinking about is mid-February, because mid-February is when you're considered not only for admission, but for financial support at Colorado State University. And you'll be able to combine our institutional support with the support that you're receiving from CoFuturo. So you want to be thinking about the sooner the better. And our application opens a year in advance of when you plan to come. So our application this year will open on August 24th. So just in a couple of months. And then that is for the following year. So including spring and fall opportunities. So hopefully this helps kind of give you a little bit of a snapshot. Again, you'd want to go to the graduate school website and look at each specific department to be like, okay, I do need a GRE, or the GRE is waived, but I maybe do need a portfolio if I'm interested in, the Masters of Fine Arts. So there are nuances, of course, for each department, because again, the department's the one making the decision on your application and will be an advocate for you to get there. This is our estimated costs for students. And so you can see this is without any scholarships or assistantships at the graduate level, but just showing you kind of like the gross tuition there with estimated living and personal expenses, as well as health insurance and an estimate for books and supplies. So again, this varies significantly based on your preferences. The only program that's maybe a little bit more expensive, well, there's 2 that aren't included in this. This is for all programs with the exception of College of Veterinary Medicine and Biomedical Sciences is a little bit more expensive, as well as the College of Business. And so again, we can talk through those specific things as you're looking for your fit, but generally speaking, encompasses all of the costs for all of our programs. There's not a lot of differential costs. Okay. That is the best I can do with trying to represent 8 colleges, 65 graduate departments, kind of next steps, broad strokes, life in Fort Collins at Colorado State University. But we would love to have questions, answer your questions, help you out.
Thank you, Bianca. Thank you, Steam. So while we receive questions through the chat, I have some questions that I know will be helpful for the candidates. So the first one is, we know we talk about in the agreement that we have the discount for the non-residential students. Could you explain then again, or better, what is the difference between a non-residential and a residential fee so they can understand how our agreement works?
Yeah, so so anybody that lives outside of the state of Colorado, so they could be from Colombia, China, Texas, California, are assessed a non-resident tuition rate. And that just means that you don't get the lower tuition rate because we're a state school and state schools are supported by taxpayers. And so since you don't pay taxpayers, so you don't pay taxes in Colorado, you don't get a subsidized tuition cost. But our agreement with Colfuturo does subsidize that cost. And through our relationship, everything that you were to receive from Colfuturo would be assessed on the non-resident rate to help get you closer to that resident rate and reduce your costs. So it's a great partnership as opposed to doing it independently and having to try to figure out, okay, only CSU is here to help me. With Colfuturo, you get both sides of that relationship to help kind of be able to get, the resources that Colfuturo has, as well as the discounts that are part of a strategic partnership between Colorado State University and Colfuturo.
And related with this question, Estefania is asking, that example is the final price with the discount?
That is not the final price with the discount. And so that is the gross tuition cost. So that's with no discounts. And I don't know, maybe I'll call on Bianca here to talk through kind of like the math and kind of how we're doing this with students.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
sure.
go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to explain that what they saw on the slide, that's just without discounts, without anything. But if you are selected for Programa Crédito Beca and you gain admission to Colorado State University, you will be able to get the 50% off the non-resident tuition rate. But then again, different programs as well. So if you have any questions, I'm going to drop my email in the chat in a minute, but if you have any very specific questions about programs and stuff, definitely email me because we can have an advising session and we can go from there and see what the cost would be with Crédito Beca.
Okay. One thing that most students face when they are going to study abroad is the English proficiency, because when we are here, we think we speak English, but when we arrive to the United States or to Anglo-speaking country, we notice that we don't have that level that we think. So what will be your recommendations for Colombian students to get a better English before they go to the university? And also, what are the options or the tools that the university have to improve English skills for the students?
I'm on mute. That is a great question. And so there are a couple of different resources that we have. We have some students that are interested in doing a intensive summer program in advance of starting their degree. So that is an option or a program that you could consider. So you could come in the summer for an intensive 2 or 3 month program just to strengthen or perhaps focus on your professional or technical English that you would know or want to know in the field. For example, like the English words, for fungus or biomedical or bacteria, some of these very tricky words. And so we do offer that for graduate students. But another great one that doesn't require you to come early and isn't such an expense is you can do it concurrent to your first semester. We have a series of courses for international students that are English for academic purposes types of courses, and there may be 1 credit that sit beside your full-time kind of programmatic enrollment, and you can take those, and that's where in real time you can say, okay, I'm working on a paper here for a journal or a 5-page kind of synthesis report, and bring that in real time back to a professor in a more structured course that's concurrent. So that's a very popular course. It's an EA, English for academic purposes, specific for international graduate students. And we do that typically at the beginning. What we also have at the end too is we actually offer an additional course for students around publishing. So when you're very serious about your dissertation or your thesis or journal writing, we have another course that you can take in your second year or final year that would help you prepare for that as well. So lots of resources. You can meet it, and then yes, you're like, uh-oh, I'm losing a little bit of ground here. We have some courses to be able to help you out.
We are going back to the funding opportunities. Camilo wrote, are there funding opportunities for master or PhD? What about the scholarships?
Yeah, so the agreement with Colfuturo is really kind of, I would call it more of a scholarship, right? So if you're a Colfuturo recipient, as well as admitted to Colorado State University, we have a couple of awards that are up to 50%. Then we have a lot of awards that are for 1/3 off of your tuition. And so it's kind of tiers. And then beyond that relationship, then there's the department. And so we're talking about two very large organizations trying to figure this out for you, kind of as like, you've done it, this is the first step. And then once the department takes a look at it, then yes, they may be interested in additional scholarship opportunities or assistantship opportunities. So it's absolutely possible to get everything covered at Colorado State University, inclusive of tuition, room and board, etc. That's particularly true for those that are in PhD programs where everything would be included. So the department would make you an offer that would really supersede so much of what we can do. That is like, hey, I'm going to pay for your tuition. I'm going to pay for your room, your food, give you a living stipend. And so those opportunities do exist. That's that deadline I mentioned. You certainly want to be applying sooner rather than later. So yeah, and we will help you wayfind all of that. So there's kind of two parts of this story. Let's get admitted. Let's get the Colfuturo thing sorted. And you've got good news on the front. Okay, now I've got some of this finance, but I got to figure it out. And then the second piece is like, wait, now the department wants to put something in this as well. And hopefully good news becomes great news. So hopefully that makes sense. And I work very closely with those departments. And so I'm always saying, okay, what about this specific student? If you can give them $5,000 in addition to what I can do, then they'll come. You know, they want to be in the College of Business at CSU. So let's make it happen. So yeah, a lot of moving parts there. But the first part is just working with my team and working with Colfuturo to get that set. And then we hopefully are then able to add more and more into the package.
Okay, thank you, Steve. So Bianca, I have a question for you, and is what will be the next step after this session if I want to go to Colorado State University?
The next step is to email me immediately. Send me an email. It could be in English, it can be in Spanish. Si quieren hacer asesorías en español, hacemos en español, lo que quieran. Like I said, I'm based in Bogota, so super easy even to meet up if that's what you're interested in. I'm going to put my email down here in the chat. There you go. So it's bianca.salvador@colorado-state.edu. Just send me your name, say that you're coming from Colfuturo, and give me an idea of what kinds of programs you're interested in. That way, when we have a virtual meeting, I kind of have an idea of what we can do with you in regards to application, what your English level has to be, if your program is requiring a GRE. I know Steen mentioned that some programs are still requiring them, so we can have a more personalized approach if that's what you would like.
So thank you so much for your time and for your presentation, especially for including that part of the recommendation letters that I know will be very helpful. And we have one more question. I was going to say goodbye, but Susana sent us another question. She wrote, so if we can apply before the deadline, what could we could get a full scholarship with Colfuturo and Colorado State University?
It's possible. And so what will happen, so in this case, right, as I showed the financial, let's just say it's $50,000 for everything. And so $50,000 for everything. It includes your tuition, fees, room, food, books, supplies. I always say everything but your plane ticket. And then what we will do with the relationship with Colfuturo is Colorado State University for up 2 students, we're going to give our biggest award to 2 specific students, and let's say you're one of them, we'll pay for half of your tuition, which you saw was approximately $34,000. So you go from $50,000 to $33,000. And Colfuturo, now Joanna, make sure I'm saying this right, can finance up to $50,000 for 2 years. So the balance for you in terms of what you need to do in terms of like your family's obligation or your personal obligation would be, let's say, something like $7,000 to $8,000 per year. And that's the combination of the two of us working together. And then the hope would be that, yes, maybe you get considered for a partial assistantship or a full assistantship, and then you're in great shape. You have no need for any of your personal or familial monies to be a player. But just the people in the room today, we can eliminate almost all of your costs or be able to give you loans or scholarships to absorb that with just a small financial contribution from your side. But like I said, we will certainly advocate for you with departments to try to even eliminate that small gap that would be your obligation.
So it's a big opportunity. My invitation is that you contact Bianca and explore. This is a great university, and just an extra information is that this year we didn't have any student applying. So that means that if next year we have you applying, maybe you will have more chances to get the 50%. So get in contact with Bianca. And the last thing is, could you please confirm if we can share the presentation with the participants?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah.
so guys, we will send you the presentation in the next 3 business days, because we are going to prepare this record. I'm going to send you the recording and also the presentation. So Steve, Bianca, I don't know if you want to add something else before we finish.
No. Gracias por todos. Thank you so much for everything. Colombia is a place I went twice, I think, in the last year, and got to meet Bianca. And so we're super excited about the opportunities there, and really, really excited to support you all with scholarships and opportunities here.
Okay,
Yeah, thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye, everyone. Thank you so much.